Kieran's in the festive mood.
Happy Kwanzaa.
I look like I'm wearing Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility.
So, guys, welcome to my cozy fireplace. This is actually my living room.
Yeah, it
No,
can't see it, but it's lovely.
well, it's beautiful, Kieran. If I'm honest with you. So, welcome to the show. Whoever's here. Last time we talked about Halloween, and now it's Christmas. How did that happen?
That's
No
why.
idea, but it's
Time flies when you're in
Christmas time.
lockdown.
That was like what 9-10 weeks
True.
ago.
Right. So we thought it would be fitting to, as we did with the Halloween one, just to talk about what we do at Christmas and what we watch at Christmas and whatever. So it isn't Christmas without, basically, and we'll just do what we did last time and go in a triangle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Will we still use the Back to the Future jingle, or will we have a new one for Christmas?
I don't know, but whatever it will be.
We'll insert
jingle here, go.
something after here.
Yeah. So what do you do at Christmas? What have you been doing at the run up to Christmas that you do to get yourself in the mood?
I've been trying to watch Christmas movie once a night, but it's not been going well. I've seen 4 this month.
Oh,
Yeah,
not good enough.
but I was able to watch my favorite Christmas movie, which is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
You know, I have still to this day I never watched it, and every year I go, I'm gonna watch it, and then before I know it, it's the 25th and I haven't seen it.
It's good to watch on the 25th as well. Well, honestly, it's the only movie that can actually make me cry. I did I?
What about Toy Story 3?
No.
No?
I mean, it's pretty sad, but
totally in here.
no, like It's a Wonderful Life, you're not crying from sadness. You're crying from how happy it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's been parodied so much that I feel like I have saw it. Like every sitcom has their own version. Like iCarly did it.
Then,
Yeah, I didn't realize they did it until a few weeks ago, but they did it, and well, it's sort of like a spin on it. It's like Carly wished that Spencer was normal, and then the angel's like, "Here's what life would be like if Spencer was normal." Mm-hmm.
I was watching and I realized it was kind of like Christmas Carol. Instead of a
Yeah.
ghost as an angel.
Yeah.
I'm reading that at the minute. I've never read it all the way through, so I'm reading it.
Oh, it's a book.
Kieran, it's actually a comic book. It's a
Yeah.
graphic novel.
The graphic
Comic book.
novel.
I heard it's gonna be. I heard Scrooge is actually gonna be in Spider-Man 3, along with the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. They're gonna be in it.
It's Uncle Ben, isn't it?
Well, it makes sense since Spider-Man 3 is coming out next December.
I think it'll be a Christmas one.
It has to be.
Oh, well, them be together Christmas Day.
Sure, Far From Home that was like summer holidays because it came out in July. So Christmas holidays.
It's like down to see Jordan's head.
It reminds me
operating
of,
with new body.
It reminds me of Harry Potter so much, and Patrick's got the PlayStation 5 this year just so he can watch all the Harry Potters in 4K at Christmas.
Fair enough. I mean, I only use my Xbox for watching DVDs. Don't really have any games.
Right. Do you associate Harry Potter with Christmas at all?
I mean, UTV does. But I wouldn't
UTV
say
does.
so.
There's always that Christmas scene in most of them anyway, when you see
Yeah.
Hogwarts all snowy and shit.
Yeah, because it's an entire school year. You need to have Christmas in one scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's
'Cause
like
then you
saying
could
it's a
also say
Halloween
that-
movie because Halloween happens.
I wouldn't really
What do you
categorize
think
it
are
as
some-
Christmas film.
No. What do you
Nah.
think are some controversial or alternative Christmas films like Die Hard?
That
Well, I consider
No.
it to be a Christmas film because that's the film I watch every
too.
Christmas Eve. Like even when I went on I went on holiday about 4 years ago, but we went over Christmas, so like I literally had to bring Die Hard as one of the DVDs with me because I didn't want to break the tradition. So I watched it on Christmas Eve in my room on a cruise, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And like I went to see it,
I
and
feel,
so it was about 2 years ago, just before Christmas Eve.
yeah.
Like I just
Kieran, how do you not call it a Christmas film?
Well, to be fair, I only watched it once, and I can't really remember most of it. But it's just a lot of action, and I can't remember the Christmas parts in it.
it
Well, it
takes place
takes
on
place
Christmas
Christmas
Eve.
Eve, so there you go.
Yeah.
I feel like
People
you'd
say
be
Merry
more,
Christmas and stuff, and the guy kisses him in the
yeah.
cheek, and
Like I feel like a lot of people would accept it as a Christmas movie.
I would accept Kiss Kiss Bang Bang as a Christmas movie just to the fact that it's set on Christmas time. But obviously, it's a detective thriller body comedy, and there's Christmas decorations in the background. But like all of Shane Black's films are set around Christmas. Like Lethal Weapon was set around Christmas. Even Iron Man 3 was set around Christmas.
Oh, I'm on free.
Yeah,
It's a great Christmas film.
I was gonna watch Eyes Wide Shut this Christmas. It was on my list,
Ooh,
but I didn't. Don't have time.
I haven't watched that in a while now.
Gremlins used to be a controversial Christmas film, but now it's just a Christmas film.
It is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it any other time of year. Like,
Jordan, I still can't see you.
well, open your eyes, Kieran. All right.
Let the sun into your life.
Yeah. Son of God,
Jordan
Christmas.
is
and
the
all.
son of my life.
Look at you in your Venom mug.
I still
Kieran, you
can't. I still
actually-
can't. I still can't see Kieran.
Kieran actually is Christmas right now with his hat and his Coca-Cola jumper.
I was
Yeah,
wearing my
Green
I
one.
was wearing my Deadpool Christmas jumper at work last night. Or he's like
I was
skiing.
wearing
Doctor Who jumper.
Oh, I've got one as well. Yeah.
I have so much Christmas jumpers. I don't know why I'm not wearing one right now. We should have done a Christmas jumper thing.
Should have. That could be like our cover, just the three of us.
I can just
You
go
know,
put it on
all
right
day,
now.
just like smiling with our jumpers. Oh, pardon me.
School Christmas jumper day. Pay 50p to wear your jumper.
My Christmas jumpers is essentially my uniform now. It's either that or wear a white shirt, but I thought, I got plenty of jumpers, so I'll them to use. And get paid for that as opposed to paying 50p.
Come December. Yeah. Come December, you can wear your Christmas jumper all year round, or all year round, all month. So I never wore the uniform for the whole of December. Just all different Christmas jumpers.
Last night I got a raffle ticket and a box of roses, and
Well, see, to be fair, I find roses are really hard to find this year. Me and Grace have
Really?
been going to every supermarket, we can't find them.
wow, must be reserving them
Quality
for
Street,
yourself.
Skittles and everything.
What is that?
No roses though. I don't know.
Every time I see
Man,
a tin
you're
of
an-
roses, I just see a sewing kit inside it.
Yeah.
Right, or Quality Street.
Or celebrations.
Yeah. Who started that?
I have no idea. Like a bunch of grannies did it in the 80s or something, and just got
Yeah,
passed
but
down
it's just
generations.
such a
And we've all experienced it firsthand.
universal thing. Yeah. Mm.
Like even Peter Kay jokes about it as well, and like 'cause obviously they must all do it as well. I thought it was just an
Is it
Irish thing.
worldwide thing? Is it worldwide or just UK or just Belfast? I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't picture
Ah,
asking anyone in America like, "Oh, can I see a tin of Quality Street?" Do they even have a Quality Street? No
No,
globalization there, do they?
no.
Suppose they're talking this
Probably
shit.
is just an Irish and British thing, which is weird. Do you eat a lot at Christmas? Because I always hear people saying they eat loads at Christmas, and I don't really, to be honest.
I never have breakfast. I always just have like whatever chocolates downstairs for breakfast, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever's
kind
in
of
stock.
like Quality Street or After Eights or big
Save
fuck
yourself.
off dairy milk bars that cost like £6.
Chocolate
And then
is
just not
so
eat for
expensive.
6 hours until everybody comes over.
Are you the host at Christmas?
Yeah, we're
Christmas
normally the
dinner.
hosts, so it'd be the six of us, and then my auntie and uncle and my cousin would come, and my nanny as well. But I don't even know what we're allowed to do this year. So
No, shit. What about you, Karen?
I go down to my granny's every year. We're still doing it, but we realize that we're not gonna be able to do it for New Year's then.
Yeah, same. I go to my granny's too.
Yeah.
For New Year's.
New Year's is shit. I never do anything. New Year's is one of the best
I
New
only did
Year's
one.
I had.
I only did one thing, and that was for last year. And look what that happened.
Why would you do?
I always work every New Year.
Well, I went up to Port Stewart, and they had a
Alright.
huge big party, and that was like the only thing I ever did. And then obviously it kicked off. Not blaming her personally, but you know, it was this. It was a great start to the year, and then
Yeah.
a little thing called deterioration and getting
Yeah.
fucked repeatedly.
One of the best New Year's I had was with Kieran actually, and David. We randomly it was just like we went to David's house and we were playing until dawn and we were playing Mario Monopoly, and then we went out into his back garden and when we timed like the drop of a song to go at midnight with the fireworks. And it was just the three of us and it was lovely. I think I was 20,
You're a bit late with the
18.
music drop.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was before, 17? I would say.
I think it was 17 going into 18 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. I just
Oh,
don't know.
so
New Year's very overrated. I wouldn't mind a house party on New Year's, but like going out to a bar or a nightclub, no thanks. Awful.
No, I just wouldn't do either. I'm normally on my own in New Year's, and I just watch Lord of the Rings.
But
That seemed to
Did
be
you
the
watch
case.
Lord of the Rings at New Year's?
I just watched The Two Towers. That seemed to be the case for the last couple of years, and I don't know
time it
why.
probably resets, so it begins.
Yeah, but I only like picked up on that after when someone posted about it. But like, I always just watched it unrelated. Like, it was just on my own, and I felt like watching The Two Towers, and I thought, yeah, I just did it again the next year and the next after that. I don't know why. But it's
Jordan
very
has
random.
recently seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the first time in cinema.
I have, and I loved it. I need to give you your Blu-ray back.
It's alright.
Your Return of the King one. I'll wrap it up for you and give it to you for Christmas.
I'll wrap up Miles Morales free to borrow as well.
Kieran, did you finish that? That's a Christmas game.
Actually, I haven't finished it because I don't know. I was playing it for the first day, played half of it, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to play too much of it too soon," and just haven't touched it since.
Is it the trailers make it look really Christmassy? Is it?
It is, yeah.
And you should
Always
finish it before New Year.
Yeah, I probably should finish it.
I get myself so stressed at Christmas about entertainment. Like this year, I had to make a spreadsheet of films, and like, because every year I try and like watch new stuff, obviously, like stuff I've never seen before. But then I like go to myself, yeah, but I want to watch Home Alone and I want to watch Polar Express and stuff, and then I end up watching the same shit every year.
Me
So I
too.
had to make a spreadsheet this year, of different categories and different things and mark them off. I'm sort of getting there, but not really.
Is The Wonderful Life on your list?
It is, yeah. It's on the must-watch column. So there you go. And there's only
Make
a
sure it's in
handful of
black and white.
films on that. Oh, of course.
There's a black and white and a colored version.
Didn't know that. You wanna know what I did the other day? I woke up at 7 and I don't know why my body just went, okay, it's time to get up. And I went downstairs and had an urge to watch Arthur Christmas. And I put it on. And it was timed. It was timed perfectly as the sun was coming up in the film. The sun was coming up in real life. It was beautiful. Lovely moment in my life.
I remember going to see Arthur Christmas, 9 years ago? That's wild. I don't think I've seen it since then.
I've never
It's
seen it.
Really good.
It's very good.
Get over it, Kieran.
Alright.
Brian, do you know what was a year ago, 2 years ago today?
No.
Hold on, I'll show you what was 2 years ago today.
Is that your Oh! Oh god, that actually took me a while to distinguish what that was. I just looked at his
Every-
top. I just
every
looked at his
year.
top.
Yeah. Right,
The
this-
Daddy
every
17,
year
was it?
I have to watch Home
Oh.
Alone 4. Home Alone 4. It's the
Take him back
best
to the house.
film ever.
My God.
It's so good. Pisses me off how underrated it is. I had an awful experience watching it this year, a few nights ago. I was talking to my cousin.
Did you flood the house?
You know the Harry Potter cousin I was talking about last time?
Hmm.
Well,
Oh yes.
he
Oh
had let
no,
slip
what did
that
he do?
he had let slip that he had never watched Home Alone 4. So I went, is that right? Well, you're coming down and you're watching it with me and Patrick because we watch it every year. And so we had our plans, me and Patrick, for that night to do our own thing. But because of him, we went, you know what? We'll watch Home Alone 4 for him. And so we cancelled all our plans and whatever, and we sat down to watch it. And that amazing score sweeps in. Beautiful. You can't find it anywhere. I wanted to get it on vinyl. They don't have it. And and it plays, and then he's sitting there, and the whole time while it's on, he's like this. Like, excuse me. 20 minutes into the film, me and Patrick are buzzing. It's at the part where I think it's. Do you know when he wakes up in the new house for the first time and he gets the breakfast brought to him, and then he's doing "I feel
Wow.
good." Dun.
Mhm,
So he's doing
yeah.
that, and then Caden goes, "I think I'm gonna go home." And then Paul the film and look at him and say, "Excuse me," and then he makes up all these lies and says, "Oh, it's because I'm hungry and I haven't had my dinner yet." And then he says it's because he needs to take a shit, but that he doesn't want to do it in our house. And then I finally get it out of him. I say, "What, are you bored or something?" And he says, "Yeah, a little bit." So he gets sent around home, and we message him on Instagram, human. We say to him, "We watch Home Alone 4 every year, and now you've ruined it. You can't unwatch Home Alone 4 for the first time of the year. You know what I mean? Now we're already 25% it. Now we have to finish it in a bad mood. So well done. Now you've ruined Home Alone 4. Luckily, the film is a masterpiece, and the tone and theme of the film upbrings the whole family. So then we were all good, but it was almost ruined.
Oh.
See this exact photo?
So you'll know never to watch films with him again then?
Exactly.
Especially in Harry
He
Potter as
ruins
well.
Harry Potter and Home Alone
Every
4 for
time.
himself.
Every time we record a podcast, he's flipping ruining something else. But see this exact photo? Patrick
Is that-
last year made me a calendar. And every month is me photoshopped in the different film or TV series. And so for December, the final month of the year, he has me photoshopped in where Kevin's face is. So I'm fist bumping Mr. Prescott. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Kieran, have you
Class.
watched Home Alone 4?
Oh yeah, I used to have the entire 4-movie box set.
Good.
Loved it.
Been amazing. Right. Just does my head in when people don't talk about it. And I'm like, if you're not gonna talk about it, fine, just talk about the first two. But then they go on and talk about 3. And I'm like, 3 is absolutely nothing to do with the lore of the McAllisters, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
At least 4 tries. Home Alone 3 should be called Little Chickenpox Kid Gets Left Home Alone while his mummy goes to the shop for 5 minutes. Like, that's what happens. And then these Russian spies and shit come in. And
Yeah.
it's not if it
Joe Carr.
and do you wanna know what?
What?
John Hughes worked on it.
Yeah, he wrote it.
What a cockhead. And at least Home Alone 4 was brave enough not to piggyback off of the originals. Home Alone 3 uses the Somewhere in My Memory score in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Why? No need for it, like. It's because they knew they had a shit film and they knew they weren't going to do no good. At least Home Alone 4 went, you know what? We're doing what we want. We're using Windows Movie Maker to edit it, but do you care? No, that's great.
Oh, Rainblades.
Yeah, like I think Home Alone 4 was like down upon because he was saying that he was Kevin, but everyone knew that it wasn't Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, but by
That's not-
2002, Macaulay Culkin wasn't even acting, so, and he was older. At least, you know, me and Patrick work out the lore of it every year. If you watch Home Alone 1, then you watch Home Alone 4, then you watch Home Alone 2. That's the way the films go. Because in Home Alone 1, Kevin says, now hear me out. Home Alone 1 in the shop, Kevin says, I'm 8 years old. I don't think so.
Oh,
Then
yes.
in Home Alone,
Home Alone 4.
in Home Alone 4, because Patrick was trying to say that Home Alone 4 is a prequel to the entire series, but I says no, because Marv's in it. And Kevin even says this mummy. She goes, I'm not going to leave you here, Home Alone. And he goes, I've done it before. Home Alone 1, he's done it before. And he says, I'm 9 years old. I wish Buzz would just stop bugging me. Then in Home Alone 2, when he's
He's
at the
10.
hotel, he's 10. And by then, Peter and Kate have got back together. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 4, Home Alone 2. That's the way you watch it. So, see you later.
Wait, so like who owned a mansion in Home Alone 4 again?
The Daddy's new missus.
Oh right, okay.
I'm telling you, I'm going to do a whole video essay on Home Alone 4 because they
I'll
they
join you. I'll rewatch it and
Yeah.
we'll analyze it together because that is very interesting.
They have predicted door open. It's become my life. I'll just Alexa turn the light on. They predicted smart homes. They even call it a smart house. They could have called it the future house, or they could have called it the robot house, but they didn't. They called it a smart house. And whenever I watched that as a kid, I was like, "Holy shit! Imagine your house could do that." Basically, can now. I mean,
Yeah.
they go music on and it plays music around it. Like, what? That's Alexa? They predicted it. But no, Home Alone 3 and its stupid race car, they get all the credit. Fucking pissed off.
I mean, not quite.
Yeah,
Not many people remember Home Alone 3, so we're
Yeah.
in luck.
we are.
Is anyone saying Home Alone 5?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit as well. I just
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah,
I haven't.
it makes me go to myself, why did he even do that film?
I just remember seeing the poster. It's just the kid trying to recreate the iconic pose.
Yeah,
and it's
he's
just,
doing that.
Yeah.
oh my god! When I was working the other day, I think it was yesterday actually. A woman and like her two wee daughters, like 3 or 4 or something. They bought like a DVD down to my till, and it was Bone Alone. Do you remember the one I showed you? It's just
Oh
the
my
dog
God,
and his
yeah.
paws. Like I really wanted to like tell her, like, can you please let me know how it is next time you're here?
Bone Alone sounds like a solo adult film. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, one night me and Patrick, 2012, I think it was when the film came out. It was about 3 in the morning.
Holiday
And
heist, wasn't it?
yeah, we were already feeling quite suicidal, so we just put on Home Alone, the holiday heist, and then watched it, and then we killed ourselves after it, actually. So it was
So you're speaking from
absolutely,
beyond the grave.
yeah, Ghost of Christmas Past. It was so bad. Like Home Alone 3 is better than it, you know, not saying something.
Wow.
Wow.
Was it us? Did we try to watch the beginning of Home Alone 5 at Danny's as well? I remember watching it
I wasn't
somewhere.
there.
Was it not that night? No.
I wasn't there when you all went to Donny's at Christmas time.
Oh, right enough.
Although, Kieran, this day 2 years ago, our tech class watched Home Alone 4 on the computers because it's on YouTube, and it was
Okay.
amazing. And then we went to see Spider-Verse on that same day.
Yeah, we're Spider-Verse near Christmas time.
Came out in December 2018.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Isn't Disney making another Home Alone film?
It's Home
Yeah.
Alone's 30th anniversary
Disney
this year.
Plus.
With little Yorkie from Jojo Rabbit, I think.
They've remastered a lot of stuff on Disney Plus for 4K, right? But they
Mhm.
haven't done it for Home Alone, and it's the 30th anniversary this year. You think now they would do it, but no, they didn't.
No, is Home Alone not on Disney Plus now?
It is,
Yeah.
but they've remastered a load of other things, and they haven't
Oh, right.
done it for Home Alone, which is odd.
Suppose it's perfect.
Yeah,
as it is.
It's
I
Home
know,
Alone
but-
had a 4K release on Blu-ray anyway.
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying you think they would do it because it's the 30th anniversary this year. Like, they didn't do anything for it.
Yeah.
Strange.
30
What's that?
years.
1990.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It was a good year, that.
It was a good Super Nintendo. I was alright.
And we had Goodfellas, Reversal of Fortune, Dances with Wolves, Ghost.
All right, Ryan, do you want to take the stage with one of yours?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I guess I've already covered Die Hard, and that's literally like I cannot.
What about Die Hard 2?
No, I would just watch the first one, and if I felt like it, with a vengeance, because that's my second favorite one. I think that's everybody's second favorite one.
I really
Oh,
like Die
was
Hard
that?
2.
I don't mind Die Hard too, but I prefer with a vengeance. That was like the last good Die Hard. I don't know.
What about
But yeah,
Die Hard 4.0 or a good day to
live
Die
free,
Hard?
live free or die hard. No, a good day to die hard and go fuck itself the next
Die Harder.
year. Or die hardest or whatever the next one's gonna be. Better not be another one.
Isn't there like a father like son one as well?
Yeah, that's a good day
Yeah.
to die hard. That's just a shocking film.
Yeah.
Like they fucking go to Chernobyl, they're not affected by the radiation or anything, and it's wild. Like, yeah, but I never really. I think it's been like the last since I was 13. Maybe I'd watch Die Hard every Christmas Eve, and then
Yeah.
I'd had to every Christmas Eve after, or like right before it became 12 o'clock, and then I'd go to sleep, wake up, and all that.
Yeah.
And then
It's a
I'm up
very
Christmas,
Christmas Eve film.
of course.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. I need to watch that actually. If I can pinpoint it on the collection.
Mhm.
Yes, I find it. I'll watch that maybe tonight.
Yeah. It's
Because
on
I
my
just
list as well.
love the Muppets, love Michael
Oh, we
Caine.
talk about Muppets Christmas Carol now while we're on it. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. The end.
it's just incredible.
Did I ever last year? My Christmas was actually ruined because I didn't get watching it properly. Like it was actually so annoying. And there's a photo. Patrick has it, and it's the funniest and most depressing photo ever. I had just come home from working on Christmas Eve, and working in retail on Christmas Eve isn't fun at all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that next week.
Yeah, good luck, and it just sucks it out of you, the Christmas spirit that you have or whatever. And the whole day was just filled with stupid people coming in slobbering to me that I've ruined their kids' Christmas because I didn't have the toy that they left till last minute to get and stuff, and it was absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I finished the shift and I was so tired and drained, and I came home and I have my own wee routines on Christmas Eve, and I wanted to watch the Muppets Christmas Carol because last year I was like, I'm saving it till Christmas Eve. Usually I watch it the day before Christmas Eve, but I think I was working really late that day. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna watch it Christmas Eve. But then me and Patrick got into like a big fight, and it was getting really late, and it got to about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I still hadn't watched Muppets Christmas Carol, and I had it on. No, me and Patrick had sort of calmed down a bit, but there's a photo of me and him, and he's really happy because he had a few smokes, and he's like taking the selfie, and he's really happy, and I'm just really like annoyed, and like my face is all red and stuff from like just anger and crying and stuff, and I'm so unhappy because of the Muppets Christmas Carol. Then I think I'm all good, right? It's about 1:30, and I'm going to watch this film. I don't care. Go into my room, get all nice, and see whenever I hear them first few notes and it comes up in memory of, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
I start crying again, and I'm like, oh god, and I didn't even get to the Ghost of Christmas Past, and I fell asleep and didn't get to watch it last year, and I was so sad. So I'm gonna watch it maybe tonight or tomorrow. Always watch the Muppets Christmas Carol.
definitely.
You'll cry. Yeah, I think it's just the best adaptation of it there is, personally.
TV writers have been milking it for years, but that's still a great one.
So good. This soundtrack is amazing. Patrick got me it last year, ironically, on CD for Christmas.
Oh yes, I remember you showing me.
And Grace's new car doesn't have Bluetooth, it only has CD. And so we've just been listening to that and the Love Actually album on repeat every day in their car. Beautiful. It's so good. And
That's fun to
it's
listen to all year round.
what?
You should listen to it in your car all year round.
Yeah. The Love Actually soundtrack isn't even that Christmassy. Like the
I haven't seen
album,
it.
it's not that Christmassy. There's a few Christmas
More,
songs, but
more romantic, I think.
mm,
Do you
whenever
mean
I'm
like
in
the
the
actual soundtrack or the score, like Craig Armstrong?
well, the score is on the soundtrack at the last few tracks. So whenever I get into the car, I skip through everything, and then I get to like the Glasgow theme, and I'm like, okay, here we go. That's alright.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said it's been a while since you've watched the Muppets.
Yeah, it's probably been about 6 years.
Fuck.
I never get tired of it. It's just so magical and cozy. And if you're not in the Christmas mood yet, then it always puts you in it.
Yeah, like I don't watch a lot of Christmas movie that much.
See, I do once it hits 20th of November, Christmas.
November.
November 20th. I have a lot of shit to watch. I don't know. It's just such an important film. 2013, I think it was. I was in my garden chilling with my friend, and these two people basically jumped in and beat me up in my own garden, and it was horrible. It was not a very nice night, and I was really in a bad state. And I went upstairs, and I had a wee hot chocolate and watched Muppets Christmas Carol, and it made it all better. It was fine. I was like, there you go, they'll never let you down. Them Muppets, you know, and Michael Caine has me by the balls. It's just so good.
Spiritually speaking.
No, physically, he's actually here right now. They've remastered that on Disney Plus, and apparently next year, because they don't have time this year, there's a cut scene, and I've only ever saw it. I've only ever saw it on YouTube in really bad quality. Do you know when his girlfriend breaks up with him in the Christmas past?
Oh, I think you posted something about that the other day.
Yeah.
I never knew about it.
Uh-huh. And it's a song when they actually reprise it later on. When Love Was Found, it's called.
Oh,
And they
yes.
cut it because they thought it was too boring and grown up for kids. But they found like the original film, and so they're remastering it and putting it in the film for the first time since it came out.
Oh,
Which is
beautiful.
class.
Love a wee bit of hot chocolate. Haven't had one in ages.
I've been drinking loads of Baileys in my hot chocolate. I'm a grown man these days. Oh shit! I meant to change my. Hold on.
What is it?
I meant to change my background for when we were talking about the Muppets. Well, it can stay for a wee while. Is there any drinks or foods that you would only eat at Christmas, like I don't
Schlur.
know, like slur? Yeah.
Schlur. Yeah.
Schlur.
Like right now, I've literally still got Schlur on me.
It's so. I would like them to make an alcoholic version of it, because it was when you were a kid. I don't know if it's the same for you. So it was always all right, the adults are having champagne or whatever. Here you have a
Yeah,
glass of
like
Schlur.
made you think that you're
Mhm.
drinking alcohol.
But Schlur is so much nicer than like Prosecco or anything. It's so much nicer. Like I would prefer to drink it
Yeah.
Yeah,
even as an adult.
it's sweeter as well.
I wonder what you could like mix with it to make it nice. Maybe gin or something.
Pink gin maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Be nice. I really like is it the grape one? The white one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I know I'm thinking of the red one. Yeah, I've got the white grape one on me.
Yeah. Well, at the start of December, Spars were doing it really cheap. They were doing it for like
89p or something, weren't they?
yeah. Patrick
Wow.
bought so much Fleur. So
That's the thing. You can literally like empty the entire bottle if you pour it into one tiny glass. It just goes very quick in my
Yeah.
house.
magic. Oh, I know what it isn't Christmas without Advent calendar.
Oh yes, I forgot about my Advent calendar. Just
I
been sitting there for 10 days.
yeah, for some reason as an adult, I still get it, but then it's like I always find that I have days to catch up on. So I'll have one right now, if you don't mind.
No,
What?
far away. I'll just get the next 10 once I finish this.
Yeah, I don't do Advent calendars anymore.
All right, Kieran, well you can shut up then.
Alright.
All right, it's a Santa. You can't really see it very well, but it's a Santa.
No, I just saw Gonzo.
Gonzo.
They should have. They should do that. They should do an advent calendar with the Muppets on the chocolates.
And you get a different one every day.
Like Rizzo and
Oh, chocolate isn't
Fozzie.
good to eat.
Animal.
Chocolate isn't good when you have an ulcer.
Oh shit.
Christmas market, that's something that we're not going to have this year. But I always feel like that's such a Christmassy
I
thing.
don't really care for the Christmas market if I'm honest.
Like I've always worked at the Christmas market, which is awful.
All right, then we can move past that. Swift.
That was a very quickest segment we've ever gone through.
The only good thing about the market is I got discount because I worked in it.
Which
No,
probably
that
doesn't
was
even-
still expensive as fuck.
It's still, yeah, it's really dear.
Oh, to be fair, their burgers are quite nice.
Burger King
Cool
Burger.
and the bratwurst,
They're good too.
like the giant footlong.
What about Christmas specials of TV series?
Doctor Who.
Benidorm.
Oh my,
Yeah,
right, Ryan.
see?
Ryan, I'm
Only Fools and Horses.
gonna watch the Benidorm Christmas special today. Me and Patrick only started watching it this year.
Oh,
when
it's
it
so
came to the
good.
Christmas special, we went, oh, can't wait to watch this at Christmas. So excited.
You've watched it, yeah?
I haven't watched the Christmas special.
Oh
but
my
we've
god.
watched a lot of Benidorm this year, so it's gonna feel really nice. I think returning because we haven't seen the characters since.
No, you'll be in
August.
tears. You'll be in tears at the end of it. Then Only Fools and Horses and Office.
The Office. Now, The Office.
It's Always Sunny as well. It has a great Christmas special.
Yeah, sitcoms
Oh.
have some great ones.
Love Always Sunny one.
Such a great show.
I think I'm gonna watch it in 2021.
Oh, the Christmas special is just fucking hilarious.
Why would
Do you ever
happen?
when Charlie's in the mall with the Santa Claus?
My mom said that.
You fuck my mom. Oh, so funny.
He bites his nose off.
No, he like bites into his neck and all the kids are screaming and running away and Mac just elbows that mum in the head. He's like, oh shit, sorry kid.
Gavin and Stacey Christmas special.
Oh yes. I didn't
Did you
watch the
guys-
one last year.
Mate, I wouldn't even really bother.
No?
It was great. Like, I mean, oh my god, class to compare them to be like in a nerdy way to look at the quality.
A lot of just a lot of fun to see them again, sort of way.
Yeah, but also on a more geeky level to see that like it's more HD now than it was in 2008. So I'm like, oh my god, Bren's in HD. This is nuts. It was cool to see everyone looking older, and but the 2008 Christmas special is amazing. It's so good actually that my mummy had never seen Gavin and Stacey before, and we've been telling her for years to watch it, and she goes, nah. And I'm like, you would love it, and we stuck on the Christmas special for her the other day, and we went, you don't really need any context, it's just a good laugh. And then after it, she started binging the whole show, so now she's on season 3 of the show. She's been loving it, so that's how good it is. It's unreal. I really, really, really hope they don't do another Christmas special because it's getting beat out. If they're gonna do something else, like another special episode, they should do it like a Benidorm type thing where the in-betweeners where they all go on holiday. That would be so funny because there's so much you can do with Christmas, and they've done it 2 years now. I mean, time to move on, but yeah.
Sure, like the past 3 years, we haven't got a Doctor Who special Christmas. They just
Yeah,
didn't
just
the
been
New Year's
years.
Day. Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Kieran, as a die-hard fan? Die-hard?
It's a bit sad, but like to be fair, over the years, the Christmas specials have been going downhill because you can't really do a lot with Christmas anymore.
What about, like, was it always part of your Christmas? Or would you
It has
watch-
always been part of my Christmas. Like I would always go down to my granny's ever since I was 10, and when the Christmas special would come on, I would actually leave my granny's house just to go to my house to watch it.
Huh.
I would leave the party just to go home and watch it.
Yeah.
Me and my dad would watch it together.
Yeah, it's an event. Even like people who don't watch Doctor Who know about the Christmas specials every year.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah. So my first one would be 2010 Christmas
Mhm.
Carol.
Oh yes,
Start on.
with Michael Gambon.
Mm. Great.
I liked Peter Capaldi's
Right.
last Christmas one.
Yeah, that's the ending is just fantastic. Like it made me
Yeah.
cry so much because I only just watched that one last Christmas. It was actually on New Year's Day, so it was like the last thing I ever watched, and then
Anyway,
in 2019, and it made me cry so much. Like I didn't want him to go. I think
I
his last one.
loved it, but I didn't like the way they portrayed the first Doctor.
Yeah.
Well,
They
funny, I
made him
heard about
sexist.
that. I don't even remember the sexism part of it, but
Like he was telling the companion to clean his TARDIS
oh.
because he's from the 60s and apparently that was their job. But if you actually go back to watch the 60s first Doctor, like he's not actually like that.
Yeah, they just want to use it as a platform to be like, look how horrible people were. Even though he wasn't like that. But the In-Betweeners have a Christmas episode, but it's not a Christmas episode.
I would love to the In-Betweeners.
I cannot
Well-
remember the Christmas when the Turners.
Yeah, exactly. It's shit. It's the Christmas prom, and there's nothing Christmas about it. They don't even have any Christmas music playing, and it's
Was
such
it
a
a
letdown.
Christmas prom
Yep,
in the first
Yeah.
season?
yep, it was.
No,
And
God, I
such
thought it was
a
just like a
letdown.
regular prom.
No, Christmas prom.
Missed opportunity there.
So how funny would it be? Me and Patrick run this in our heads every year. Like, you see them all on Christmas morning or something, opening their stuff, and Neil's like a big kid, and he gets like a kid's like a Ben 10 bike or something, and he's really excited about it, and they all try and go out for a Christmas drink or something, and I don't know, there could be a snowball fight or something. I don't know. They could do
That's
so
how
much
the episode
between
could
her.
end. Have an overhead, like a crane shot of them.
Yeah.
The
But
snowball fight.
they could have Will could be really like strict on what Christmas should be and stuff, and he would get annoyed at like Jay or whatever for not respecting Christmas, and I don't know.
Mhm.
Or
Or just
Will
giving
would
him
try
a
and
blow up, like a full-size
Well-
sex doll.
Will would try and organize like a secret Santa, and they would all just take the piss, and Will would really think
Big
like,
Christmas
he think
jumper and
it's-
all that his mum did at him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I could see it now, but no, apparently not. The Office Christmas special is, I think, the most significant Christmas special out there because it's the end of The Office, and it's such a lovely ending. And I watched it the other night, and it still makes me cry. It's just such a happy but sad ending, and they had balls to do it on Christmas. They were like, "All right, here's a Christmas thing. Bye. See yous never." I
Is
had to
this
say
the
goodbye to this
UK
beautiful
office?
man. Yeah, the UK office.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Kieran, you're a letdown. You know, Kieran uses the Office DVD as a coaster. 'Cause it's a prick.
You know that like the wee TVs that they get in like the Sun newspaper or like in your cereal box.
Hmm.
Like I got one of them out of the cereal box and I just use it as a coaster since 2003.
Jesus Christ.
Christ, fuck, what's the state of it though then?
Yeah, it's dirty now,
Yeah,
isn't it, Kieran? It's
Pretty,
brittle.
pretty.
It's a relic. Well, maybe one day you should take the DVD out and put it in your PlayStation and watch it. Because it's
Or you can just go on Netflix.
you could, but I mean, it's more symbolic to do it with your actual DVD.
To be
But
fair, like DVD that gave me is the Christmas special, so
there you
probably could have
go.
watched it.
And it's 2 parts. It just feels like a big movie, and it's different from the rest of the show. Like some of it actually takes place like outside the office and stuff. And I know they go to a bar and whatever, but in that, like, you see so many different locations. It's so mad. It feels like a last episode, and it is. I don't know. I just really like it.
At the Walk Office, but like halfway in the first episode, I just couldn't do it. It was just really dull.
Everyone says that.
That must have been the humor time that I couldn't get it.
Yeah, everyone says that, and it's so disheartening whenever I hear it because the humor is so well timed and it's written to perfection and it's so realistic. And I think people go
Yeah.
into it. People who have watched The American Office go into it expecting jokes, and it's not really about that. It's more they try. It's a mockumentary. They tried to make it look like a proper documentary, so there is dull bits, but that's what makes the funnier bits even better. If you get me, it's just
Yeah,
if you don't look at it as a comedy and you just look at it as a documentary,
documentary.
and it's so much better. It's great.
Yeah, I'll need to give it another go. You know what I don't get? See UTV, the way they show movies every year.
Yeah.
They always show the Back to the Future trilogy, but it's nothing to do with Christmas.
And they show the Back to the Future trilogy all year round as well. You won't really struggle to watch Back to the Future 3 at any time of the year. They always have it on. And yeah, so it's
Yeah.
weird that they use the slots to play it at Christmas. Grace's mummy got, you know, them Radio Times magazines from years ago?
Yeah.
She, they're like a fiver, apparently. She bought one just for the crack, and we were going through it to look at all the Christmas movies that are coming on this year, and some of them are questionable. On Christmas Day, they're playing Coco. Like,
Yeah, that's weird.
it's November 1st, that film. It's such a. I watched it for the first time this year, and it was amazing. But
I still haven't watched it.
it's not. It takes place on Day of the Dead, the day after Halloween, so why are they playing it on Christmas Day? What else are they playing? They're playing like the In-Betweeners 2. Oh yeah, nothing
That's a
screams
summer holiday.
Christmas more than them going on a summer holiday.
Them getting stranded in the desert, very Christmassy.
Inspector Gadget,
That's a weird movie.
not French Stewart's best though. We all know that French Stewart's best is Home Alone 4.
I'm known for yeah. Elf, Polar Express, those ones as well.
Yeah.
Talk about Elf. The Santa Claus trilogy.
Yes. Oh my God, Kieran, that's my final thing.
Wow, that's
Hold
going
on.
back. I only ever remember watching the second one. I think 'cause I only got the second one on DVD, but
The first
That
one,
one's pretty similar with the toy Santa.
I like the second one. The second one's still good. Me and my mummy watched the Santa Claus every Christmas together. We always have like a movie night, and it's special because she's always worked in retail, and at Christmas obviously she doesn't really have much time. But every year we always manage to find one day where we can watch the films, and every year they get more quotable. Every year it feels like we can just recite the whole film, and it's sounds so cheesy, but especially the first one. Whenever I picture Santa, that's what I picture. And whenever I was a kid, it was so magical. It was like, oh my God, this is how Santa works and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And score, the score is one of them soundtracks on Spotify that's like, if you have it saved, it's grayed out. You can't listen to it, which is really annoying because it's a really nice score.
that's
It's
annoying.
Michael Covertino, and that's amazing. But you can't listen to it apparently. And yeah, I don't know how like the 2 and 3 are great as well, especially 2. I
Yeah.
remember going to see the third one in the cinema in 2006, and that was mad for me because I was like, oh my God, I watch these films every year. Now there's a new one, and I get to see it in the pictures. That was class. But
I remember going to see Fred Claus when I was
yes,
6.
same.
And, I remember going to see that like 5 times.
I went to see that really close to Christmas whenever it came out, 2007, I think it was.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was like the day before Christmas Eve. We went to see that. Just got up, went to Yorkgate, went and seen it. And it was great as well. I end up watching that every year as well. I don't really plan on it, but I always end up watching it every year.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I used to do that as well. I think I might have gone to Yorkgate at one point as well. There's a memory there for some reason.
I just got another Christmas memory.
Yeah.
It's not happening this year for some reason. But every Christmas for the past 6 years, me and my brothers always went to the cinema to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, you told me about that last year.
Yeah, it's not a Christmas movie, but like they always play it at Christmas.
Yeah, it always comes out in like December.
Yeah, it's always been tradition for us.
Yeah, I went to see The Force Awakens around Christmas, and then I seen it on like New Year's Day as well. Whenever it came out. 2015, mad.
Wow.
Yeah,
Next
so like,
month
yeah,
it'll be
that's 5
6
years.
years since that came out.
6
Or
years,
not
right?
since it came out. Since I watched it. Yeah, 2021 it'll be.
Yeah,
I
and there's
remember-
been a Star Wars movie every year since.
I remember I had this memory. I think it was about a week or two before The Force Awakens came out. Obviously, everyone was hyping for it, and even because it was around Christmas time as well. And we were in Mr. Robinson's class, and he got this new, like, you know, those giant interactive whiteboard screens. But he got like a new one, and he was like testing out the sound and the audio and everything. So he stuck on the last trailer for The Force Awakens, which had everybody going crazy. And I remember just him like blaring the music, and everybody was like so excited. And when it came like, you know, to the release date in the very end, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" They're like, "Sir, why are you doing this to us?"
I feel like with
Fucking hell.
every Star Wars movie that came out after, the hype went down and down and down.
Yeah, I didn't even see Rise of Skywalker or Solo or
Yeah, me neither.
Mandalorian. I haven't watched any of them.
My favorite one.
I hear The
would be
Mandalorian's great though.
My favorite Star Wars is Rogue One, and it's not even a Star Wars film; it's a spin-off. But it's my favorite
Well,
one.
it's still technically a Star Wars film.
Mhm.
I mean, it's called
No,
Star
it's
Wars
just like-
Story.
But like, it's not like Star Wars. Like, it's not all those ships fighting each other. It's like just a battle on land.
Mm.
The whole movie, and it's like
You got
it's a heist
You got
movie.
Darth Vader though. I mean, it's a prequel essentially.
I heard it's
Yeah.
the first in the timeline.
Yeah, because it ends in the beginning of A New Hope.
Alright.
It actually ties in very well, actually.
Well,
But, like, it
I
feels
would
like
make
so
it
much-
first in the timeline because
Oh wait, well then the prequels come first then. So it's the prequels and then
yeah, the
Rogue
prequels would
One
come
then-
first.
Okay.
But either way, I've
So Rogue One.
watch
So Rogue
it.
One is like Star Wars 3.5 essentially, or 3.75.
or 4.0. No.
Die Hard 4.0. Live Free or Die Hard, as it's known in America.
But yeah, Mandalorian. I haven't seen that.
Neither. The way
I've
they're
heard great
releasing
stuff
it,
about them.
the way they're releasing it over here is really stupid.
Why? What are they doing?
Like an episode every once in a while.
Well,
It
like
really-
weekly or something?
Yeah, it like encourages people to go illegally stream it. It's been out in America for ages, and if you're releasing episodes stagnantly, people are just gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna go
Well,
watch
that
it all.
just reminds me of watching any TV show growing up. I always watched it weekly.
Yeah, same. I'm not really a binger, but I just mean for other people who are, especially in this era and especially in 2020.
Yeah, but
And
everybody
because it was
gets so angry about it. I think it's very funny.
Uh,
Like, you know, they never had to, you know, if you ever watch something with a cliffhanger, you'd actually have to wait and see what happens. Whereas, you know, you can just
Yeah.
literally wait 10 seconds, which that
yeah,
kind of
no,
ruins
it's
it
not
for me. You spend the rest of the week. What's
exactly
the word?
anticipating,
Yeah, and
thinking
like,
over in your head what's gonna happen. Yeah,
yeah, speculating it.
Lost is the best for cliffhangers.
And Breaking Bad too had some great cliffhangers.
The Constant is technically a Christmas episode. It takes place on Christmas Eve.
And Lost.
Uh huh.
But
Yeah, Desmond
it's
calls.
a Christmas episode.
Desmond calls Penny, and Penny's putting up the Christmas tree, and he's like, "On Christmas Eve, I'm gonna find you and stuff, and we'll be together and all this." And if you actually think about it, it's a very Christmassy themed episode as well, and like what the episode's actually about, and about love and all this and stuff. It's very,
Yeah, I'm trying to come home to her.
very nice. I seen a meme Patrick showed me, and it was a Lost like fan page on Twitter, and it just says, "News: the entire cast of Lost is announced to be in Spider-Man 3." And I was like, you know what? See, at this point, could be. And I believed it too, because I went, this says Evangeline Lilly and Daniel Day Kim are among the two, among the whatever.
Hmm.
And I went, that makes sense, because if Evangeline Lilly's in the MCU and Daniel Day Kim was in Spider-Man 2, then there you go. They're linked.
Yeah.
Could
Wait,
be.
what actor was in Spider-Man 2?
Daniel Day Kim.
Daniel Day Kim.
Jin.
Who was he? And all.
Oh, I thought it was Kim.
Jin. No, yeah, he's Daniel Day Kim, but he's Jin in Lost.
Oh,
Oh,
Jen, right.
What about Christmas music? Where's your
Michael
point now?
Bublé.
Oh, Kieran, don't be one of them normies.
Bubble.
Michael Bubble.
Uh,
Kieran, you're a 40-year-old man.
Thank
Do you have the Michael Bublé CD in your drawer?
You have a 40-year-old woman with fucking tenure.
I'm only joking, you, Kieran. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
It's what I like.
21 Pilots, Kieran.
Yeah, that was a great Christmas song that they released.
Patrick asked me, I was playing it yesterday, and Patrick went, "What is that? It's really good." And I went, 21 Pilots. And he went, "I wouldn't have thought of them as a Christmas thing." And I went, "Yep."
Yeah.
Ryan, have you heard it?
I have not, no. Do they have a Christmas smash hit?
Yeah,
No,
they
I
just-
don't. It just
Number one.
came out.
It's not Smash It.
That was a
About 2 weeks
recent?
ago.
Or-
Yeah, it's
Oh.
called
I think it was like
Christmas.
2 weeks ago. Last
Yeah,
week.
it's called Christmas Saves the Year. I've been listening to a lot of alternative Christmas music this year. Like I've barely even heard Step Into Christmas or Fairy Tale in New York or anything. I've just been listening to like really old Christmas music or like albums of random singers and
Nat
More
King
s-
Cole kind of stuff.
yeah, more soundtracks and stuff. Alternative because I'm a hipster. But
Mm.
yeah, and I think I haven't really became fatigued of Christmas music this year because we haven't been out. It's different, like when you're out and you hear "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Oh, Ryan, you're working. I assume you do hear it.
I actually haven't, surprisingly. I keep hearing Frozen every so often, which kind of fucking drives me crazy, but
I haven't heard any Frozen music this year.
I haven't really heard any charts kind of music. It just all seems to be very backgroundish.
Alright.
Like, if you're working, you don't really notice the music, which is kind of weird because I thought, I'm going into retail during Christmas time, I'm going to get tortured, but
I listened to the Doctor Who Christmas scores. Marigold, get on that shit.
Oh, absolutely. He was my most listened to artist this year.
Same for you, Kieran, was it not?
Yeah, he was on my top 5, yeah.
I don't check mine till New Year's. I'll let you know he was on it.
I was quite surprised by mine this year.
I think Patrick's is going to be, Aqua, the people that do Barbie Girl,
Aqua. Why?
because he has found he's rekindled his love for that song. Whenever he was a kid, he loved that song, and now he's really just it's flipping tune, and so now he plays it all the time. I think it's going to be up there. Like, wow! I just opened Spotify and it says, "Do you want to see what your 2020 looks like?" They've been listening to us.
Or maybe it's just been asking everyone.
No, but it's like a banner at the top. Like I've opened Spotify loads recently and it hasn't asked me, but now it's up at the top on the screen.
Alright.
I've been listening to a lot of Charles Manson recently. His stuff's good. He's on Spotify. Would you have guessed it?
I didn't know he was a musician as well as a
Oh yeah,
publicist and a screenwriter.
that's why his girls.
Why? What else is he famous for? I only know his music.
Really?
You're joking, aren't you?
There's also this artist I really like. He's a painter. You may not know him. He's called Adolf Hitler. He's really good. He's a really good painter.
Does a lot of great German
you
shepherds.
probably don't really know him. He's not that well known.
Great author.
Great author.
Oh, I remember that Doctor Who episode where he
Great
saved Hitler.
administrator.
Yeah, he has a book called Minecraft. I think it's called something like that.
The tutorial book.
Yeah, the pocket hand guide to Minecraft.
I love that. I love the movie they wrote. The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
Now that's a Christmas film. Reminds
Oh,
me
yeah.
a lot of Christmas, like getting into your new Christmas jammies. Oh yeah.
Warming yourself up. In the shower.
Oh, God.
Snow and Ash.
Just spending
too
time
soon.
with your best
Fuck off.
friends.
Hey.
I remember Miss McHugh made us watch that for some reason. Don't know why. And all the Smicks just couldn't take it seriously and just kept on laughing. So she had to turn it off.
It's ironic because they all fucking look like him.
Yeah, I know.
Bunch of skinhead cons.
Ryan, take it easy. Ryan, go easy on the Pepsi.
That's me raising my eyebrows there. I'm surprised I haven't finished the slur yet. Do you remember, Jordan, Kieran, do you remember when we watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas in the Assembly Hall years ago?
Yeah.
for like a fundraiser or something, and everybody was clapping and cheering when he managed to pull the sleigh off the of the mountain, and Mrs. Strange turned it off.
I, you know what?
Oh, it was so funny.
I
We were
always
actually
used to,
amazed.
I used to hate Elf with a passion because every time it
Really?
came to December and there was a chance to watch a Christmas movie, everyone was always like, "Let's watch Elf, let's watch Elf," and then I had never really watched it, and so anytime I watched it, it was in school with a bunch of people who already loved the film and kept laughing at everything, like really like fake laughing, like pretending to laugh, and so it pissed me off. And then anytime I found out we were going to have a movie day in school, I would just not come in. Um, but yeah, now that I've watched it, it's very good. But it was always played in school. That or Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is overplayed. It's still a great movie.
Yeah,
I watched it again the other day.
Oh, it's interesting that schools are open right now, and they're keeping the schools open and risking people just so they can sit in class and watch Elf.
I could have sworn they were closing the schools as well, because it sounds something like schools and public parks and all
Well,
that shit. But
Well, even up until now, the schools were open. I don't know what news broke today or yesterday, but even like the teachers and stuff are writing letters to the.
Anyway, for Christmas holidays.
Yeah, today they should be closed, but I mean, even recently they were open, and I don't think they should have been because if you think back to school, like you just said, all you would have been doing is sitting watching Grinch or the Elf, and they were willing
Yeah.
to send everyone to school just for that. But yeah, here, modern day, Caden told me, I says to him, "Here, are you watching Christmas movies in school yet?" And he says, "Yeah." And I says, "What are you watching, Elf or Home Alone?" And he went, "The Santa Claus." And I went, "What? You're watching the Santa Claus?" And he says, "Yeah." And I remember in school, I was always like, "Can we watch the Santa Claus?" And everyone would go, "No." And I get so annoyed. But he also was watching Noel with Anna Kendrick in it. Excuse me. And I remember
Sorry.
people, it's a Disney Plus thing, which brings me to what I'm saying. It's like, back when we were at school, you would have had to rely on someone to bring in the Elf DVD. And
Yeah.
yeah,
now
that was
they
me.
now they go onto the teacher's laptop and go, "All right, guys, well, we'll just go see what's on Disney Plus." Mad. So that's what they're using.
Yeah.
Different. Do you think now in schools, whenever they're watching documentaries, they just watch documentaries on YouTube and Netflix and Prime, as opposed to getting the guy to bring out the video player,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wheeling out the flipping big grey TV? Remember sitting in
video game.
no Miss Kiernan's class watching the Haiti earthquake documentary.
I remember one time in Mr. Thompson's class, he put on Help I'm a Fish.
Oh my
But
god, yeah, I love that
Oh,
one.
the only one that was on YouTube was the German dub. And we thought, oh well, it's history class, so we may as well just watch it in German.
There was always them teachers, and I wonder if there's still stupid ones now, who didn't know what YouTube was, and thought they would get like annoyed or frustrated if there wasn't a full movie on YouTube.
Mhm.
They'd be like, "All right, well, we'll just watch a film," and it would be some
I
substitute,
always,
and they would
I
go
always
onto YouTube.
remember, I always remember Mr. White typing in the search bar, but he always spelled YouTube with an actual U,
Oh my god!
because like his laptop was connected to the whiteboard, so everybody could see what he was
Yeah.
typing in. Like, oh, I should have gone.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't type in P, or else we all would have seen something coming up that we wouldn't,
Or RedTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really annoyed me for some reason when teachers would like go onto YouTube and type in movies, and they would be like, "What movie do you want to watch?" And then some snick would say like, "What's new in the pictures?" They'd be like, "I don't know, can't even flip and think." Give me a flipping generic film that came out in the 2010s.
What for Smix?
Yeah.
Fucking Annabelle or something.
Oh, they go Annabelle, and they'd be like, "Okay," and then they go Annabelle, watch.
Turn the lights
Instead
off at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and then I'm going, yo, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. And they go, "Yeah, it is, you shut up." And they go on it, and it's like, click the link in the description to watch Annabelle full movie and all, or they just watch they watch it on movie clips on YouTube. Oh my god, it balls my head, and I hate everybody in the world.
Or even if it's just like a cam in the cinema.
Yeah, but even then, it's like it's YouTube. It's not really. It's not an illegal web. It's not on a movie website. So I don't know why there would be. Oh, just did in my head, and we pet peeve for you there. But
I think they didn't want to go on like those kind of websites because of all the ads that will come up the sides of the screen.
oh, oh,
Oh, local MILF in your area.
my granny always gets me round to like clear her tablet. Because she has a tablet and she's looking at sofas and shit all the time. And she doesn't know how to like close ads or anything. So I'll go round and she goes, Jordan, son, you need to do this tablet for me again. And she'll have like 86 tabs open and all these notifications down the panel. And it'll be like hot Asian women in your area and all this. And it's like, do you want to have sex in North Belfast and all? And I'm like, Granny. And she's like, I wasn't, and I know it wasn't her, but I tried to get her in trouble. Like, do you want to see what she was looking at right under your nose? What's this? Hot men? Naked men? Granny. Meant to be looking at sofas.
1.2 miles away from you.
So what are you doing on
Yeah,
Christmas
criminal.
Eve? What are you doing on Christmas Eve?
I'll probably have a Muppets Christmas Carol Die Hard double bill.
Mm.
Can't really think of anything else to do.
Well, my brothers are coming home, so
Happy days.
a few pints of Guinness, probably Christmas movie. Just pick one on today. Whatever's on UTV. Probably Harry Potter.
What's we been for the Phoenix?
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, big albums.
Scream 2. My favorite Christmas movie.
Iron Man 3.
Big Mama's
Really
House
cool.
2. Yeah, I'm looking at my spreadsheet here.
Yeah, what else is there?
Bad Santa. I watched Bad Santa 2 for the first time last night.
I only watched Bad
Oh, yeah.
Santa for the first time about 2 years ago at QFT.
What do you think of it?
I really enjoyed it, yeah. I knew there was something like I could tell there was something in the writing, and I found out that the Coen brothers did like an uncredited rewrite.
Really?
Yeah, because like I could tell it was kind of like them, their style sort of a way, like their characters and the dialogue. And I did some research, and I think they asked the main writers, I can't remember their names, they went to the Coens first and asked them to write it for them, like in general. But I think they did like a rewrite. But I know they're credited somewhere under uncredited even, but because they worked with Billy Bob Thornton,
Yeah.
unlike the man who wasn't there just like a few years before. But I haven't seen the second one though.
It's okay. Patrick and everyone else told me that it was a piece of shit and to stay away from it. It's really not that bad. It doesn't take away from anything, and it's worth watching it just to see the fat kid all grown up because they got the actor
Oh,
back.
good.
I want to watch it for that.
And he's not really in it that much, but it's still good. And I don't know. There's a few things I wish they would have actually had the balls to do, but they don't. But yeah, it's still good. You should watch it. It's on Prime.
It's on Disney Plus.
No, it's not on Disney Plus yet. It's coming in January.
I always remember when do you remember when Tom Holland was reported to leave the MCU last summer?
Yeah.
Or dispute about his contract, and then everybody kept sending in video like that scene from Bad Santa when they're trying to negotiate their terms. And he's like half, and he's like 48, half, 47, half.
Got a new report the other day.
I miss Bernie Mac.
What
Got a
kid?
new report. From
Got your report card?
Disney.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Well, Tom Holland's getting another 3 movies added to his contract.
Fucking hell.
Let's see, Tom. He's doing everything. He's
So like he's
Alright.
gonna there's gonna be 6 Spider-Man movies.
He's already played him 5 times. He's already beaten Andrew and Toby's
yeah.
amount of screen time, which is wild. And
Yeah.
in 2.5 years.
It makes me not believe it. Like I don't believe that. Tom Holland's still really new to me, but he's not.
Yeah, he's been here since 2016 now.
Here, Kieran, did you know there's a High School Musical, the series, the Christmas special? I haven't watched it, but apparently
I
it's
seen
there.
that.
Oh
Jesus Christ, what
god.
a train wreck.
I
I-
actually
I
hurt my head
hate
so much
the
trying to read
titles
that. I didn't know there was a Christmas special.
Yeah. There's also guess what?
Yeah,
Guess
I'm
what else?
probably gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the series, Jordan?
No, not yet. I'm gonna watch it next year
Why?
because I want to watch it and I haven't watched it yet.
Why not now? They got a Christmas special.
No, like why next year? Like a year
'Cause-
from now, or you're gonna start in
No.
January?
2021. I don't know. Yeah, eventually in 2021. I'm not gonna flip and start it now. I have too much stuff to watch. I have Home Alone 3 to watch.
Yeah, like said that they're gonna do.
Said no one ever.
Home
Said
Alone
that
3 is
they're
on
gonna
Disney
do
Plus.
musical every year, so it's
Huh?
not gonna be. It's not gonna be High School Musical in season 2. It's gonna be Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't
It's
really
the
care about
musical
that.
series. Huh?
I don't really care about that though. I'll see how I feel when I actually watch the show.
I know, but they're still gonna be in East High doing Beauty and the Beast, which is weird.
Yeah. Home Alone 1 and 2 and 3 are on Disney Plus right now.
But not 4.
But not 4. No.
Why?
Because they're racist. Fucking
Are
racist.
they still racist? I thought they got rid of all the white guys.
Oh, they're still racist. You know, when I watched this
doing
year,
like one at a time.
I watched The Holiday Inn for the first time this year. Ryan, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have not, no.
The
Do you,
Bing Crosby, it's a Bing Crosby film, and it's where the song White Christmas comes from.
Oh, yes.
And I went to watch it, and the only thing that had it was on Sky. And all I wanted to find out was what the film was about, right? But no. I went on to the information part, and all that it said to me was, this film is outdated and contains racial depictions that are seen as offensive and may upset some viewers, and watch at your own risk and whatever. I'm like, right, so what's the film
They
about
didn't
then?
put that in Game of Thrones, did they, on Skylander?
I was like, what the hell is the film about then? To be fair, there's blackface in it, but a wee disclaimer, fine, but let me know what the film's about, please. Thanks very much. I'm going to watch Gremlins next year, and because the Gremlins strip, it's going to be like, oh, it's making fun of sex workers, so don't watch it. Need to watch Gremlins this year. Don't watch it yet.
Me too.
It's 2.
Nah, it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Fucking punching
it is.
Judy, shut up.
Based around Christmas as well,
Gremlins 2.
I think.
I really don't think it is.
Cute. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's 2.
It's not. Liar, liar, for a fire.
Kieran, it came out in June. You flip it, and it was a summer blockbuster.
Iron Man 3 came out in May. Or April for us. Not the Christmas film, I thought, shall I? Well, not really, but it's the same Christmas.
It is a Christmas film.
Oh, is it now?
You know what else is a Christmas film? Your dad.
Your dad's sex tapes at Christmas film.
Why is Google saying, when did Gremlins 3 come out? I didn't know there was a Gremlins 3.
3? I don't think there is a third one.
It's not, but I don't know why Google's asking when it came out when it didn't even come out yet. Right, I'm getting hungry. Will we wrap this up, or get it like a rotten presents?
I mean, I got a text saying my dinner was ready about an hour ago, which I was unaware of, so.
Oh, shit, sorry, Ryan.
No, you're okay, you're okay.
Have you wrapped all your presents yet?
I don't know what I
Right.
want, but I don't want to get anybody else. I've only wrapped 2 presents. That's about it.
I haven't got
Banana,
any present.
haven't Ethan.
My Christmas shit. Did a spreadsheet for my Christmas shopping as well.
Wow, a lot of spreadsheets.
All done. So I can relax and have a bath.
Ooh.
Right, well, I guess that's everything.
It was a good chat.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a lot of fun again. We got there eventually, but
We got there
Are we
eventually.
doing our next one in another 2 months?
Yeah, we'll do
it isn't Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Valentine's Day, yeah. Hope
Basics.
this works and hope I can get it in an audio format. If not, then people are just gonna have to enjoy looking at our faces.
But in
But
your backgrounds.
yeah. Hope everybody has a lovely Christmas, and wait, hold on.
No.
Happy New Year.
Let's go back to
Happy
Home Alone, isn't it?
Happy New Year, and
Happy Kwanzaa.
And
A
there we
big
go.
for
Yeah, he's going back to I fucking do. He's gonna go back to that.
Don't forget, everyone, to watch Home Alone 4 this year if you haven't already, and if you have, watch it again. And
Yeah,
Um,
I will.
It's multiple viewings for analysis.
me and Patrick actually watched it on Christmas Day one year. While we were opening our presents, Mommy was like, "Do you want to put on the TV, put on some Christmas music?" And we just put on Home Alone 4.
I'd
We
happily
should,
open my
we should do
presents
a
listening
live-
to the opening music.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone have a nice Christmas,
Let's-
and we'll see
Let's
you.
do a live watch along for all the fans watching with
Oh
us.
my god, yeah, that would be flipping unreal.
But do you know what's interesting? We're recording this and we have a title and all. Because remember last time we were recording and we still didn't have a name for it. It was still
It
pending.
isn't Christmas without.
It isn't Christmas without. There we go.
It isn't Christmas without Home Alone 4. That's what it's going to be called. Alright, guys, well, whatever you end up doing, eating selection boxes or eating snow globes or eating electric fires, then have a good time doing it. And,
Why certainly will to the latter.
and
Oh, you know what?
thanks for listening / watching, and have a good New Year too. Alright?
Been great.
All right.
See you on
Cheers.
the flip
Thanks
side.
very much.